Hi guys, welcome to Taste to Explore. My name is Darlene, and today, my friends, I will be showing you on how to make a rustic bread. It is easy, it's not much knitting in there, and the ingredients are very simple. The only thing is a little bit time consuming, but nonetheless it's still easy to make. So let me walk you over to these basic ingredients and then we can get this started. Okay guys, now let's begin. In my bowl right here I have 3 cups of bread flour, and then over here I have 2 teaspoons of salt. We're going to use just a teaspoon of regular sugar. And right here we're going to use active dry yeast, water, which is 1.5 cups. That is actually warm. You need this water to be between 115 to 120 degrees in order for this active yeast. Alright guys, now let's begin. Now you have to make sure that your water is warm. It has to be between, like I told you before, 115 to 120 degrees. It just needs to be like a really warm tap water. It doesn't, you don't have to boil it in some sugar because yeast thrives better in sugar. So we're just going to put a teaspoon and our yeast. Now make sure that your yeast is definitely not expired, because one of the key reasons why the yeast doesn't activate is if the water's too cold, if the water's too hot, or if your activated yeast is expired. These are the only reasons why this won't activate, and it only takes about 5 minutes to do so. And how you can tell this is done, when it gets nice and it foams up, it's going to give in a nice yeasty odor, which that's how you can tell that the yeast is good and is activated and is ready. Alright guys, so now let's begin mixing in our dry ingredients. Alright guys, so while we are waiting for our yeast to finish proofing, we are going to salt this up. You see how easy this recipe is? It really is not anything too difficult. Very easy. Very simple. I told you the only thing is you have to worry about is the time, and that is no worries because you can do this a night before. So after you give this a little mix of your salt, bread flour, then we're going to check on our yeast. And if you take a look at it right now, it's proofing. You see how it looks? This is exactly what you want. It smells really yeasty. It smells like bread. It's still warm, and you can tell it's puffing up. There's a lot of suds on the top. That's perfect. That is a really good indication that your yeast is alive and well. It's half proofed, and it's because we put in a little bit of sugar, is eating on the sugar, and it makes it grow. It makes it bloom faster when you put sugar in it. Alright, so now let's begin. After this has a little while to proof, it smells excellent. And you don't want to over mix it neither, because then you're going to kill the yeast. So now I'm just going to pour this right in here. Yes, yeast is very sensitive. Now you don't need no machine other than your bowl and some type of spatula. Later on we will knit it with our hands once we see that this is pretty incorporated. Alright, so as you can see, it's getting a little hard to mix through this by my spatula, so I am going to do the rest by hand with your clean hands. You just want to combine everything together, making sure that all the flour has been incorporated. Once you see that all the flour is incorporated, there's nothing left but whatever residue that's in the bowl, and that's totally fine. Then, my friends, this is the part when you can say you're pretty much done. You mixed, you combined, and everything looks just as I shown you. There is no more flour around the. We are going to cover this up with some saran wrap. Okay, and make a tight seal, as tight and sealed off as you can. Okay, stretch, and I'm gonna put another one over here. Okay guys, so after you mix your dough and you put a lot of saran wrap on your dough because you want it to make sure that there is no draft to disturb it, it needs some time to rest, and it needs a place that doesn't have no draft whatsoever. So I'm going to put it in my microwave because nobody is using it right now. It's draft free. You make sure it's not on. You can put this in your oven if you want as well, as long as you're not disturbing it. Don't put your oven on whatsoever. Just whatever you do, do not disturb it for a good 18 to 24 hours. And then from that time on, I'm going to show you how and what to do next. This is pretty easy, other than the little time frame that it needs to rest, and that is okay, guys. So I'm going to see you back tomorrow for me, and half a second for you, and you're going to see how I put this together. And when we put it together, it is easy. This bread is a quite easy going bread, other than the little time period that it needs to proof and get real doughy, and it's gonna smell real yeasty. I mean, it's marvelous. It's a marvelous bread, and you're gonna see how I put it together, and it's easy. So I'll see you. Okay guys, let's begin. I'm gonna unwrap my bowl right here, and it's gonna be very sticky and wet, and that is perfectly fine. Now we're just going to dust some flour in our surface, in our clean surface that is, with our clean hands. We're going to slightly pull the dough together. We're not going to knit. We're just going to pull the dough together. It is very sticky at this point, and we're just going to place it right on our surface. Just lightly flour. It smells so fragrant of the yeast, but that's okay, and it's a little bit sticky. Put some flour in your hands. I'm just gonna boil it up right now. We're not knitting, just gonna boil it up perfectly. See how it's very soft right now, and that's really it. We don't gotta do nothing else to it. Alright, so right now, I'm going to put our dough in some parchment paper because it's going to be easy to remove, and put in our cast iron. We don't want to get burned because it's very hot. It's warmed up, and right now it's going to be put right in here. So you just pick it up ever so gently and just place it right here. Alright, it's perfect. It's ready to go right in the oven. I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit of flour on top just to give it that nice finished crusty look to it. That rustic bread look. It's going to provide some texture and a little bit of flavor. Alright, that's fine. A couple little pinches, and you don't want to disturb it. Now, let me get my cast iron skillet out of the oven. Being very careful because this is super hot. I'm going to put my flour mixture right in here just like that. It makes it easy to take it up and put it in without risking getting burned. Now this underneath here is my top, and you're gonna need a top to put this on. So I'm gonna put the top on in the oven, and this is gonna bake for 30 minutes. After 30 minutes, I'm gonna remove my top and let it brown up for another 15 minutes, and I'm gonna show you how that looks when this is done. Hello guys, welcome back. Well, our bread, it is finally done, and it has been cooling off for a good half an hour, and I'm ready to dig in. Now, as you can see, it has a nice medium golden brown color. It's not too dark. If you wanted to make it more dark, you certainly can. Right after the half an hour mark, I took off the lid and allow it to tan up a little bit in the oven for a good 15 minutes. And if you want it a little darker, you can. Or if you want your bread softer, you can skip the step of the extra 15 minutes to allow it to darken up. You can just have it just like that, but I wanted some color so it could be nice and crusty. And I'm going to show you how it looks when I cut this bad boy open. Now check this out. As I move that out the way, and I use my cutting board with a nice serrated knife. Look how easy it is just to remove it out of the pot. It's not sticking, it's perfect. And look, it doesn't even stick, and it's perfect. Look, nice. Even it's not even so dark in the bottom. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Really good. I'm gonna cut it right on the paper, and I'm gonna cut it in an angle. Well, I'm just gonna slice it like that. But I want you to see as I cut it how it is. So let me see. Look at that. Look at that. Look how gorgeous it looks in the inside. Phenomenal. Crusty on the outside, right? You can hear that crunch, right? Really crunch. And look how soft it is on the inside. Perfect. So I'm going to cut another slice. And I had to change my knife because evidently I didn't have good knives. Beautiful. Look at that. Gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Magnificent, guys. Magnificent. Now let's do a taste test. Okay, guys. Now, as you saw, making bread at home, especially this type, it is absolutely easy. Perfect for the holidays. Perfect when you have guests over and you just want to wow your guests with homemade bread, or your family. It's a beautiful sight to see, and it's absolutely easy to make. Minus the time it takes to prepare it, but I mean, who be kidding? This was easy, even with the time that we had to wait for it to rise and proof and whatever have you. It is easy. Make this, and I have a dip that will go perfect for it. It's like an oil rosemary dip. It is out of this world. You need to follow that video as well. This will go perfect with this type of rustic bread. I am going to take a piece of my bread and my dip, and I'm dipping it, and I'm going to do a taste test. It's crunchy on the outside, but it's soft on the inside. Wow, that is absolutely delicious. This can be added on your holiday table. You can forget about the biscuits. Alright guys, thank you so much for joining me in this easy episode on how to make a rustic bread. I do hope you give this a try and make it on your holiday table or whenever you want. This is a delicious and easy bread, and I hope that this will inspire you to make one. So thank you so much, and I do have one quick suggestion. If you can help me grow by sharing my videos, share it in all your social media. I need these videos to go worldwide. My goal is to grow in this food network, and I need your help to get that done. So if you can do that, I will gladly appreciate it, and I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for doing so already, and I bless you in Jesus' name. So I thank you so much, and I will see you again next time, my friends. Take care. Bye bye.